Hi, this is Stephen Budden at Classic Typewriter. Welcome to the little walkthrough of this Olivetti Underwood 21 portable typewriter. I'm going to walk you through a few of the essential features here. So, this is the carriage lock. If you buy one of these, it might be locked when it arrives, and when you buy one from me, it definitely will. I like this ruler bar under here. That's a good attention to detail. This machine kind of occupies the space between the Lettera 32 and the larger Studio 44. It even like bridges the gap. It's still a pretty large portable. It comes with a fairly large case, and it's a lot more solid on the ground than the Lettera 32. It has these famous tombstone shaped keys, supposedly ergonomic. I like the feel of it. It's still in the era of everything being metal. You wouldn't necessarily know it from looking at it. It looks like one of the later ones. This cover comes off like so. Very solid cast cover. The same spools and nuts as the Lettera 32. So don't lose these nuts. You need them to work the machine, and spools of this size. When you change the ribbon, these just unscrew counterclockwise and come off. And then you can order a new universal size ribbon and wind it back onto these spools. See how there's a hook here? This will hook into the back. When you put this back on, you just tap the front down. It catches on this, these hooks catch on these springs, it's something like that in the other models as well. This handle folded like that for travel, out for not travel. There's a button here. You'll see how it'll ratchet line by line the platen. Push this button and it frees it up if you need to pull a page out. Zero spacing will make it not space at all. Single. This has actually 4 space settings. Single, 1.5, double, and a very wide space. I'll see what that is in a minute. Consult the manual for details. These are often a little bit different. Left and right margins. Left side paper guide slides around. These two things are the carriage releases. This releases the rollers. Paper bail looks identical to the Lettera 32. Not quite as solid as the Studio 44. So these, like I showed you, but I'm telling you now, you just push that down to make that work. These little tabs here, they'll flip up the paper supports manually. Very nice and solid. Here the end of line bell. Quiet as in seemingly on all Olivettis. There's the tab set and clear key, just like on the Lettera 32. Up to set, down to clear. Let's verify that. Yep. I move through a lot of different machines. I don't use this one as my main one. That's why I'm kind of verifying the features. No labeling on that. I'm not sure if it had a piece that was labeling it before, but I don't think so. This is the black ribbon selector, red ribbon selector. You can do a 2-tone ribbon in here, universal size, or the no selector if you want to just imprint something, use something like a whiteout strip, which I don't recommend, but they did that in the past. Sometimes I use it to just sort of, when I'm testing something, I don't want to keep stamping the platen with ink. People will say never type on a bare platen. I think they're kind of exaggerating. This is the touch control here. It's a little switch that moves over a round piece. I was looking for that because it was set on a high setting and it was a little bit uncomfortable. So I knew it existed somewhere. Really nice thick card guides, these plexi things that hold the cards down. They're normally very thin and often cracked. These are nice industrial ones. I love the back of this, very minimal. Made in Barcelona, Spain in the factory. I'm sure these are made in a few other places like their counterparts. Just a beautiful machine. Let's do a little type sample here. Give myself a little space. So align the left side page guide where you want it, often with the 0 on this ruler bar. then set the margin, left margin. Where the right margin is, it'll affect where the bell is and where the page ends. When you get the end of the page, usually a blank key up here is the margin release, and then you can type beyond. That's an example where I had it on blank, so I'm not marking up the paper as I'm getting things set. The reason that's a little bit loud is because these feet are loose. So I'll put this pad under here to give you more of a standard sound. You heard the bell there. This is not on single setting, so I'm gonna go back. Double space. The 2 was double space. The 3 was more than that. Look how wide that, I don't know why you would use that. 4 space is probably for secretarial work. That's the backspace, this forward arrow. Kind of reverse, counterintuitive because it moves the carriage that way, which is a backspace on here. And the 1 is the lowercase l. And sometimes these have an exclamation point. If they don't, you do an apostrophe and you back it up. You do a period. There's a way to do that in one key motion. People love to point that out on YouTube. This has a rare, interesting typeface. Just a very nice, clean looking, definitely typewritten machine. I love these, typewritten look. I love these papers because they kind of accentuate the handmade look. That's very beautiful. These feet are very small for this size of machine, and the screw, if you use a burnt electric screwdriver, it can break off in there, and that's what happened to this one. So on your machine that will not be like that, and I will obviously fix that in the ways that I can. I'm just pointing out why I had to resort to this pad. Now I'm going to show you the case. Well, my daughter's home, so you're going to hear some roaring and ranting from a 9-year-old. This is the case. Pretty straightforward. Squeeze the latches to open it. Nice velvet interior. And the case, the feet just sit in these little holes. It doesn't actually latch anywhere, which is interesting. Some models, the feet sit in the holes, and then the pads hold it in place. There's like a series of pads here. Fold this back for sure. Lock the carriage because if it's not centered, the thing won't close. Good. I don't think that's locked. What I was doing was hitting the margin. So once that's up, you can lock that. And then these pads will hold it in place. There's a original cover up here. You can just squeeze that shut. A little tight from the pads. There you go. This case is plastic, but it's very solid. Feet on the bottom. Just a beautiful machine, classic of typewriter history. And I'll leave you with this eye candy to go. Boom. Thank you. Again, I'm Stephen Budden at Classic Typewriter. I'll see you on the other side. Right on, my friend.